Hello, hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. There's a little icebreaker prompt on the first slide that you should be seeing. And hey, everyone. You can share your responses just in the chat with, please tell us your favorite place to spend time outside. And I'll add mine.
Freedom. I know who said that. Oh, nice. Good answers. Got some good answers here. Arboretum, parks with a pond so I can watch birds. Tennessee. Tennessee does have a lot of natural beauty. Lake Michigan beaches, South Shore Nature Sanctuary, in my garden, everywhere.
Good answer. Good answer.
In my yard, the shed. What are the shed aquarium, Jason, or just your shed?
Man cave.
On the prairie path, me too. I do love the prairie path and the Great Western Trail. I see a lot of flowers and wildlife out there. Warren Dunes, Muir Woods, Acadia. Nice. I'll give people maybe just one more minute and then we'll get started. Okay.
You ready for me?
I think we're good.
Yeah, backyard. That's a good one. I thought about that too. All right. I think we are ready to get started. Welcome to our third Spring into Wellness session, Recharging with Nature. As many of our owners know, Prairie Food Co-op from the beginning has offered helpful and fun workshops on various topics, such as cooking and food with me, Chef Crystal, to yoga, to beekeeping with Beth, and kombucha making. And before we hop into tonight's workshop, I also wanted to mention that you should keep an eye out for a few more events coming up in the next few months, including a juicing session with newly opened Extract Juicery in Wheaton, and a butterfly and pollinator garden session with local conservation organization Saving Monarchs. But now I'd like to introduce you to Prairie Food Co-op ownership and outreach volunteers, Katie Larson and Beth Peluse.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Crystal. I'm Katie Larson, and I am a certified teacher and environmental educator. I worked at the Alliance for the Great Lakes for a decade or so. I've been a teacher, and I've also taught field trips and summer science camps at the Morton Arboretum. And some of my favorite places to explore nature, I shared in the chat, are along the shores of Lake Michigan and at the Arboretum, and also my backyard, where I spend a lot of time with this baby who is now 2. This was her first beach cleanup in the photo a year and a half ago. But I'm always looking for new outdoor spaces wherever I'm, near my house, near my work, when I'm out traveling. So thanks everyone for sharing your favorite places.
And hi, I'm Beth Peluse. I am a certified Master Naturalist intern, which basically means I'm certified in a wide range of nature topics, kind of what is it, Jill of all trades, master of none, even though master's in the title there. But I just really enjoy learning about nature, wildlife, plants, kind of everything involved. I'm also a Sierra Club Inspiring Connections Outdoors leader, where I lead groups of young adults on hiking and camping trips to learn more about the outdoors and themselves at the same time. And then I'm also a member of the newly formed Next Generation Advisory Council for the Conservation Foundation. So basically, all this to say that both Katie and I really love nature and are excited to talk all about it with you guys. So to start things off, so the session is called Recharging with Nature, and after the year I'm sure everyone has had, and even the year of 2021 where things are slightly returning to normal, maybe your work schedule has gone back to kind of being crazy, or your schedule with your kids' school or in sports and all that. So really trying to take some time where you're stepping back from your busy schedule and enjoying things like just going outside and feeling the sunshine and feeling the breeze. We'll be talking about first about all of the benefits of being in nature, and then some actual activities and things you can do to enjoy it in even more. But first, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. So taking that time, breathing a little bit slower, and taking a beat out of your busy life. So I don't know if you've heard of this phrase before, but I don't know, I always kind of giggle at it. So getting your dose of vitamin N. So a lot of people take multivitamins to make sure they have a well-balanced diet, making sure the foods that they're eating. But have you ever actually considered getting your dose of vitamin N, which vitamin N is nature? So we wanted to first talk about what the health benefits of nature are. These are actually, a lot of these have come from real studies of what is actually happening to you when you spend time outside. So first off, you're getting that wonderful dose of vitamin D from the sunshine, which is really important for calcium absorption, for your immune system, and even just boosting your mood. The more vitamin D you have, the better you feel. And actually, as Midwesterners, it's really hard to continue to have that vitamin D throughout the winter. And we do kind of feel it once we're not in the sunshine as much. But also physical health, being in nature literally lowers your blood pressure and your heart rate, which you can kind of feel that when you think about even, going and walking along a beach in the lakeside and the waves crashing, or just standing in a quiet forest. You just feel kind of slowing down, your body's feeling it as well. And it's an actual stress reducer where it's shown, the levels of serotonin, which are a neurotransmitter that helps regulate your mood. It actually increases when you are outside. One study found that regular outdoor runners were less anxious and depressed than people who ran indoors on a treadmill. I know I am one of those people. I cannot stand treadmills or anything like that. So being outside really just it actually has been proven to help with that. And the runners that ran outside actually experienced more of that runner's high, or higher levels of the post-exercise endorphins, which is also just a natural stress buster as well. A couple more benefits, one being cognitive brain function. So being outdoors can significantly improve your ability to focus, and also helps you get over some mental fatigue. And not only for you during your workday, but if you're thinking about the kids, and whether they've gone back to in-person school or are still doing schooling online and being in front of that screen all the time, it's really important to take a moment to get outside and take a second to not be, with the artificial light and the artificial blue light that's coming at you from your screens. And a study was published that found that children were able to concentrate better after a walk outdoors in a natural setting, like in a park or a forest preserve, when compared to walks in other settings. though still being in an urban setting can still be nice, they still provide additional stimulus, all the noise and traffic and things going on and distractors that your brain still has to process. So just being somewhere that's quiet and in nature really does help. It also can help you stay healthier as you age. According to a study, there were elderly participants who went outdoors on a daily basis and reported significantly fewer complaints of aches and pains and even sleeping problems over a period of 7 years. So it wasn't just like, looking at 6 months, but as they continue to age, those things did seem to diminish a little bit more, at least weren't as much of a focus in those patients' lives. And, it improves our psychological state. So really, in short, nature just makes us happy. There's numerous research studies that have shown that spending time outside has measurable benefits on your health and well-being, which, kind of just walked through quite a few of those. But even spending a few minutes outside in a park can have short and long-term positive mental health benefits for you. So if you're feeling kind of gloomy or out of sorts, sometimes really a nice quick walk outdoors really can help you. And even new studies suggest that maybe you can't go outside because either you have another meeting that you have to hop on, or it's raining outside, or it's too cold, or whatever it is that you just can't get outside for a little bit. New studies have actually suggested that just looking at an image of a tree or like the forest canopy actually it still bolsters the parasympathetic division of the central nervous system, which is all to say it actually induces a calm feeling for you. So if you can't actually get outside, it's still, maybe have a tree poster or even have something on your background in your screensaver so that you can kind of take a break and just look at a lovely tree when you're getting a little stressed out.
And we want to take a few minutes to connect with nature while we're in this Zoom meeting. So we are going to share a couple things that we can do as part of our day, whether we are at a computer all day long working or out and about, whoever it is, whatever you're doing. Do you ever catch yourself staring out the window or like moving your body towards natural light? I am definitely one of those people that will gaze out the window or move my desk or me and my book closer to a window. And there are actual health benefits and then also benefits for productivity. So if you need to sell this to your boss or to yourself, if you are really focused on work, there are definite benefits to your concentration and your focus. As Beth shared, seeing an image of a tree or a forest canopy can bolster your nervous system and help you feel calm and relaxed. And so you could add a desktop image of a tree on your computer, and that can be a benefit. The EPA had a study that said that Americans are averaging 90% of their time indoors. And while we want to inspire you to get outdoors more and actually be in nature, we also want to give you opportunities to recharge with nature when you're indoors. So we're going to talk about window gazing and the physical and mental benefits of natural light, which helps to regulate your sleep and wake cycle, improves the amount and quality of sleep you get. It also ensures that circulating levels of stress hormone are down, our glucose metabolism is normal, and our fatigue levels are controlled. And that means we are better able to think, make decisions, and concentrate on a task. Another benefit is the Vision Council. Another benefit is eyesight, and the Vision Council recommends a 20-20-20 rule. I don't know if any of you have done this, but their suggestion is every 20 minutes, so we're getting close to that on this call, you should look away from your screen, stare at something for 20 seconds, something that is about 20 feet away. So right now, if you have a window near you, I have one over there, patio door, If you have a window near you, we are going to take about 20 to 40 seconds to look out through the window. If you can find a tree or something else in nature, that's best. If you need to move your body and your phone or your computer right now, or step away for a minute, feel free to do that. We want you to relax your eyes and just observe what's going on outside. I'll give you a few prompt questions that you can think about, or you can just, let your gaze and your brain relax. So what do you see? What plants are there? Is there a tree? Do you know what kind it is? Do you see any insects, birds, or animals? What are they doing? What does the sky look like? Is it sunny, cloudy, windy? All right, I'm going to set a timer for about 25, 30 seconds. So take a break, go stare out the window. I'm going to do the same thing, and we'll meet back here in about 30 seconds. That did not feel long enough to me. I could have done that for a little bit longer. But it's just good practice to do throughout your day to give your eyes a break. I know as a teacher and as an auntie to kids who are doing virtual learning, taking those brain breaks and eye breaks and body breaks are just really important. If you want to share anything in the chat, feel free. If you saw anything interesting out your window, a couple other questions that you could ask yourself during or after window gazing is, what else do you notice outside? And do you notice any changes in your mind, eyes, or body after window gazing?
Ooh, lilacs blooming. Perfect time for that. Looks like rain. Okay, I think we can move on. So a couple other sharing, yeah. Sky is gray, but it was windy, but now it's not. So the next kind of activity that you don't have to do right now, because you would have to literally go outside for this, and it gets a little hard when we are on a Zoom call and how far maybe your Wi-Fi reaches. But in the chat, I'd love to hear, has anyone heard of the term grounding, or it's also called earthing? Anybody? We got one yes. And if not, no worries. Yes, we've heard it. Friend that practices it. Nice. So so if you have or have not heard the term before, so basically grounding or earthing refers to making contact with the Earth's surface electrons by having actual kind of physical connection with it, whether that be walking barefoot, sitting in the grass, working outside, or even sleeping outdoors, like if you're camping, where you are transferring the energy from the ground into your body directly. The Earth actually has a negative charge, and when you make contact with it through grounding, we discharge our excess energy, which can produce a healing effect at the kind of cellular level. There's some other research that goes further into it, but that's I like to practice it without even thinking about it a lot of times. I am just one of those people that I do walk around my yard barefoot a lot when I'm gardening or just kind of hanging out. But some of the emerging scientific research supports that the concept of the Earth's electrons induce a couple of physiological changes of clinical significance, which can include, but again, we're not saying to use this instead of something else when you're, if you're dealing with any issues, health issues, but it has been seen to help inflammation, blood flow, immune response, even wound healing, and then prevention and treatment of chronic inflammatory and autoimmune diseases, emotional stress, improving your sleep, and even just elevating your mood. So some of the benefits we had already talked about just being out in nature in general. This kind of is a way that if you're feeling disconnected, kind of in life in general, sometimes just taking off your shoes and socks and walking out barefoot into the grass. Or if you think about how you feel when you are walking out on a beach, your feet are kind of digging into the sand, and you know you're in this great environment where the waves are going, and you're just in a, you feel a little bit more connected to the earth than just when you're walking around on the pavement. So really the easiest way to do this is to walk around barefoot, and making sure that you're actually not on your sidewalk or your driveway or like a patio or something, so that you can actually have a connection directly to the earth, and where you are then kind of waking up your own senses. And if you're doing this intentionally, you know, just taking that moment to really think about, what does it feel like under your feet? Is it nice soft grass? Is it kind of scratchy sand? Is it, you know, just dirt? You know, what are you feeling with those sensations? And even, you know, if you're in a patch that's been warmed by the sun, or is it cooler because the sun is going down, just taking in all of those sensations and just kind of enjoying the experience itself has been seen to kind of help people, especially when you're really stressed out. Just take a moment. Again, it doesn't take very long to even have the response, but a nice quick way to hopefully get a little bit more centered in yourself. So we also wanted to make sure to include all these different ways, more ideas of how to get outdoors a little bit more. You know, there's a whole list here, and you probably already do some of these anyways, but some of them might be new to you. Well, just even reading a book outside, grab your book up maybe on a weekend or after work during the summer where the sun's still up, and sit on your back porch to read a book for a little bit. Go play disc golf. Actually, in Lombard, we have at least 2 different disc golf courses. That's kind of a fun, easy way to just get outside and walk around some of our parks. You can camp in your own backyard. You can try out some geocaching, just taking your dog for a walk outside, maybe on the Prairie Path or the Great Western Trail. Or even kind of planning out and making sure maybe you go to somewhere there on a hill where you can kind of see over the trees and see over the houses, to plan out and actually watch the sunset without maybe your phone. Maybe turn off the notifications or turn it off completely, or leave it in your car, so that you can kind of just really reset and recharge and just take in what your environment is giving to you. So I also wanted to mention that we will be sending you these slides afterwards, so that you can have some more ideas and resources after our workshop here, so that you can kind of revisit it when you're maybe feeling stressed. And I know myself, if I get stressed, sometimes I can't think of what would be helpful to me. You're kind of focused on what's going wrong and negative, versus things that maybe are maybe even easy things that would just help a little bit by just stepping outside.
All right, those were some great ideas for adults, and families could participate. But as I said at the beginning, I'm an environmental educator. So I've been pretty focused throughout my career in getting students connected to their community and to nature. And so one of the books I read pretty early on was a nature deficit disorder. So thinking about attention deficit disorder, but a nature deficit disorder. As I said, Americans are spending more and more time indoors, and young people are spending more and more time in front of screens rather than in nature. So it's important to give families and young people opportunities and ideas for what to do outside. I'd say that vitamin D is a major benefit to getting kids outside, as well as sensory exploration. They know nothing about the world around them. And so getting them out there to explore it, put their hands in the dirt, their bare feet on the ground, all of those are great for sensory development, physical activity, muscle development, making connections to their place. And I think that getting fresh air and getting your energy out by moving outdoors helps all of us sleep better. And I don't know a parent or grandparent or auntie who doesn't want the kids in their lives to sleep more, to get a good night rest. So not only is it good for getting the sleep and the fresh air, good just for, for everyone, but it's helps improve their focus and concentration. And so we have a few ideas here. I'm going to go through 5 ideas. Outdoor scavenger hunts definitely had their moment in the sun last spring when kids started homeschool, when school shut down and they were being homeschooled or trying to do virtual learning. So we have one outdoor scavenger hunt here at the end of the presentation that we'll send out later. We'll have some links to resources, but this is just a way to give kids something tangible to hold and to focus on while they're outside. So they would look for trees. They could count how many trees they see, how many birds or different kinds of birds. Right now, my daughter calls every bug a bee. So ants are bees, butterflies are bees, because that's all she can say is bee. But this will be fun when she can start, tallying up the different bugs that she sees outside. You may have heard, some of you participated in a prairie path pickup around Earth Day that PFC hosted. Here are some kids and some people on this call who went out as part of that pickup. You can do neighborhood pickups, beach cleanups, river, shoreline cleanups. Some of those have been canceled during the pandemic, but are being rescheduled for this fall. I know PFC is going to do another one this fall, but it's a great way to give back. And you could even just do like a 10-minute cleanup or find 10 litter items. And, that's it. That counts as a pickup, just helping to beautify your neighborhood or a park that you're visiting. So those are a couple ideas. On the next slide, you'll see more about sensory exploration. So on that first one, that was a scavenger hunt. This is more about getting kids in tune with their senses. So what do they see, smell, feel, and hear? The 5th sense is taste. Sometimes we take that off of nature sensory things because we don't want the kids to put, natural items in their mouth. Instead of the 5 senses, we'll often do the 4 senses. So like I said, we'll send this out. So we'll have example sheets that you can use and links to them. I think that bird houses and other bird feeders and crafts are a really cool thing for kids because they take time to make them. And you can use like one of these is an orange peel with bird seed. This one, I can't remember. This might be cereal, but different items. This is a recycled bottle. So you can use items that you have in your house to make a bird feeder and then hang it outside of your house. And then when you're window gazing or whatever, it gives kids something to look at and the adults and the other people in the neighborhood. So those are a couple ideas. And then the 5th one I'll talk about is similar to window gazing, but it's actually window drawing. So in addition to just staring out the window, kids can use a template like this or just dry erase markers and stare through the window out and draw what they see. So it's a great way, if you can't go outside, to think about what's out your back door, what's in your yard. And so these questions that are listed here are the same ones that I read right before we did the window gazing. So what do you see? What plants are there? Is there a tree? What kind? Do you see any insects, birds, or other animals? What are they doing? What does the sky look like? Is it sunny, cloudy, or windy? And when we had you reflect on your window gazing, some of you answered those questions. So I took those from a kids activity, but they definitely work for both kids and adults.
I was going to say, I would do any of those. I think those would be fun.
And so another activity that we are going to do together could be done with either kids or adults or both. We are going to write nature haikus. And I'm going to share a nature haiku in the chat. Let's write a haiku to recharge and connect with the natural world. So haikus are originally from Japan. They are inspired by nature. They usually have a hint of what season it is. So that could be like a species of flower. So right now I know someone wrote about lilacs. So that would give us a hint. Like if you saw lilac or purple flowers, we might be like, oh, springtime. And they generally have 3 lines and they are marked by their syllables, which I do a lot of work with my reading students right now with syllables and clapping it out. So the syllables are, the lines are 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. And you can use, think about what you saw out your window. You can use one of the images we have on the next slide. You can imagine being in your favorite place to be outside that you mentioned during the icebreaker. Think about what inspires you to write a nature haiku. And if you have questions about the syllables, 5, 7, 5, you can send me a private message or unmute. But I'll also, Beth, do you want to skip to the next slide with the images? So I put these 4 images that could inspire you. These are places I have been. If you want to, like I said, look out your own window, look at the desktop image you have, or just picture your favorite place. We are going to take about 4 minutes to write a haiku right now. I have a couple on the next slide, but I'll also write one with you right now. So 4 minutes, 7:37. We're going to share our haikus, if you're comfortable, in the chat in a few minutes.
I'll put on some haiku writing music for everyone too.
Thank you, DJ. I keep counting on my fingers when I'm writing mine or other people reading others.
Same.
Does anyone want more time to write?
Oh, I don't want to take away the prompt. I'm gonna say that's a no. It looks like everyone's been pretty much ready.
Cool. Those are a couple I wrote last week, and now I'm reading everyone's.
Does anyone want to read theirs out loud? Is anyone brave enough? I'll read mine.
Go for it.
Sun-soaked purple bloom, may you reach up and reach love, growing tall and strong. Who's next?
I'll read mine. Golden sunshine birds flutter by, singing with cheer. My heart sings with them.
Ooh, very nice. Anyone else?
It's so nice to read like other people, what inspired them and the adjectives. I love it.
You guys are so good at this.
I mean, I took that class at the Arboretum, so I had practice.
Laura was trying to.
What's that?
I didn't know if Laura was trying to talk. It kind of looked like it. No.
No. Well, very nice, everyone. So at this point, we want to make sure that you're really getting something out of the 40 so minutes that we've spent together and taking the time to take time for yourself, really. And we'd love for you don't have to put this in the chat, but if you do want to put it in the chat and share it, that works too. But kind of make a promise to yourself and commit to at least one thing that you're going to do this week to consciously spend more time in nature and really think about, you can, if you're comfortable with it, we'd love to hear what you're doing. And again, we'll be sending you the slides after this so that you can continue to have some more ideas too, when maybe you're feeling like you're in a rut, or there's going to be those links to the activities that Katie had gone over too. I like that one, Melissa. Make sure my phone is turned off while I'm outside. I have started to make that a habit when I'm out working in my garden, especially now that things are really coming up. I can kind of concentrate and really enjoy being outside, and I just leave my phone inside for a little bit. And, I'll check in every once in a while when I'm going to grab a sip of water or something. But I think that is a big change for people, to not have your phone on all of the time. Anybody else? I'll walk barefoot, learn more about grounding. Yeah, there's a lot of resources out there. Some of them are less scientific than others. Whichever way you lean, you will find more resources. There's a lot of blogs and things about kind of the background behind it, but also some more ideas of when and where to even try it too. Ooh, drink coffee on the back porch next weekend. That sounds lovely. Just sitting there, watching the birds. Plant my native plants this weekend. Very nice. Then you'll be attracting some lovely pollinators to the area with bees and butterflies. That'll be good.
I am working as a substitute teacher at a school, and it is right by the Fox River in Elgin. And I've driven down. It's like a neighborhood up in the ravines, it looks like. And I keep meaning to take a walk on my lunch break. So I commit to doing that in the next few days, to walk down to the river and explore. There's a park, but there's also like the walking path along the river. So I commit to doing that because I've been wanting to do it.
Very nice. Crystal says I'm going to plant my flower boxes, or at least supervise my husband while he does it. Jay's got it. He can do it. But then you get to enjoy the just looking out the window at them. So that's perfect. Well, I guess with that too, if we also wanted to make sure if anyone had any questions about what we were talking about, to answer any, if you want to put it in the chat or even raise your hand or unmute yourself to ask aloud, please go ahead. And also you can kind of get a hold of us with several different ways. Here's Prairie Food Co-op's information, but also if there was anything specific you wanted to ask Katie or I, please feel free to shoot us an email too. Oh, I think Crystal, are you trying to
mute myself? Me raising my hand. So maybe you said this already and I missed it, but do you know of a recommendation for like a specific amount of time each day that's recommended to like be outside or exposed to nature? You know, I know more is better probably, but.
I know like with research studies, some like the minimum would be 15 minutes, which is kind of the bare minimum of, you know, making sure that you're actually getting some sunshine, breathing the fresh air and being out in nature. But I want to say that to really truly feel like the full amount of benefits, it's somewhere around an hour. So you're outside playing with the kids, gardening, going for a walk. And it can kind of be broken up throughout the day too. So it's not necessarily spending it, especially if you're pale like me, spending an hour in the sun, if you're not thinking about it, it's probably going to be detrimental to my burning. But yeah. Katie, did you want to add to that?
I have the same numbers just based on what I've read, the 15 minutes minimum. I would also say doing it regularly, doing it every day, if you can make a difference. That it's, you know, then it's part of your rhythm and routine, something that your body and your brain get used to. I think that there's benefits there, or as often as you like. I'll also say that it's been more than 20 minutes. We should also take another eye break, 20 seconds, 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 feet away. I can do that now, but I do see a question in the chat. How about in 20 seconds? We'll answer that.
Anyone have any unique nearby go-to nature areas besides the obvious ones? Kind of like Fabian Windmill area. Or Fabian Windmill area, maybe. I don't even know what that is. So
it's in Batavia, also along the Fox River. There's an old windmill there. And there's lots of running and hiking paths and bridges. There's also a Japanese garden and a Frank Lloyd Wright house there. So it's a gem for sure. Hidden Lake, also love Hidden Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If anyone hasn't been to like Swallow Cliffs, you can run the stairs because it used to be the old toboggan hill that's now closed down. But once you climb the stairs, it actually does have some hills, but nothing too bad, and it's really a pretty forested area too.
Ruth, I love that idea. You went to the park district page, put a different park to go visit every Friday on the calendar.
Oh, nice. That is a good idea.
Very cool.
Oh, Melissa, a good idea too. Maybe PFC could organize a forest therapy outing. That would be lovely to kind of really not just do it over Zoom, but actually experience nature while we're doing a recharging with nature workshop. Yeah, anywhere along the I&M Canal. Yeah, that is great too. Waterfall Glen. Yeah, some really great ideas. We can do our eye break if everyone would like to do that as well.
Yeah. I can always use that. I have a plant on the coffee table about 20 feet away.
And I'm going to look out my window and watch it's actually a trio of ducks that continue to fly in and out of our yard because two of our neighbors have pools. So it's just nice watching them be ducks.
What were they doing? Were they there?
They're underneath my actual bird feeder eating everything on the ground.
Nice.
I see someone, Kathy, has a giant skunk trying to hide in their bushes. Gotta watch out there.
It's a good thing you were looking. Now we know.
Well, unless we have any other questions, I think we can kind of wrap up. Want to just thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We hope you got something out of it. Maybe take some time and think about what you want to be doing in nature in the next week. But also, like Katie said, try to make it part of your routine moving forward, and it really can have a benefit to your overall health. And just actually, so Reiner will be sending out the slides, but also we will have a couple other workshops that are going to be coming up in the next few months. So watch your emails and watch social media for that as well. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good night.